Hi, this is Dr. Kirk Megu, TV and podcast host and former university lecturer. As intellectuals, sometimes we place a lot of emphasis, too much emphasis, on knowing the most about a subject, being the most knowledgeable. And it reminds me of a story I want to tell you. There was this zoology professor and his grad student, and they were studying lions. They went on a safari in Africa. I think it was Kenya in particular. And so they were on a particularly long trek one day because they were looking for a specific lion that they were monitoring. I can't remember exactly what purpose it was for, but they do all these measurements because I think this particular species or population was perhaps going extinct or something like that. So anyways, they were looking for a specific lion, and the guide, they had a guide to show them. But they were going the whole day and they weren't finding it. The guide actually didn't seem that helpful. By the time the afternoon came around, in fact, they realized that they were lost. Right? They started to get they were hot, they were tired, they were desperate, they were frustrated, they were angry at the guide. And but they tried to restrain it, but they were really desperate. They wanted to try to get back home. And while they were looking and worried, really, because they didn't know where they were, all of a sudden they heard a big roar, a big roar from the lion. The guide now, he just dropped everything and took off. He didn't even bother with them. The professor and the grad student, they just looked at each other terrified. Right? They looked down and they saw the lion coming straight at them, charging. Their lives were flashing before their eyes. They just didn't know what to do. All of a sudden, the grad student takes off his backpack, undoes it, and he had a pair of sneakers, of running shoes, right? I don't know what kind, but some special running shoes he had with him that was different from the kind of safari shoes. And he's taking off his boots or whatever and putting these running shoes on. Now the professor, looking at his student, saying, "What are you doing? What are you thinking? Do you know how fast this lion can run? It at its peak speed, and it's just about coming at its peak speed. It can go 80 kilometers an hour. Even if we had a car, we couldn't outrun it. What are you thinking?" So the grad student looks at the professor. He's putting it on, while the professor's talking, and he's just single-minded, putting his shoes on and making sure he's getting it done fast. He said, "Listen, Prof, I'm not trying to outrun the lion. I don't have to outrun him. All I have to do is outrun you." Well, it was a joke. Obviously, that didn't really happen. But you understand what I'm saying. That, a lot of times we think we may need to know the most about a subject when we don't really do in order to execute, to have a podcast show, for example, or to be in the media as an expert, right? We don't have to be the most expert, although if you do have a PhD already, which as an academic you should, if you do have a PhD already, you are an expert and the leading expert in your particular field in any case. Right? Sure, there may be people who know more things about other aspects of your topic, but you will be a specialist in your particular area. And not only that, a lot of people who do have perhaps more knowledge than you may not be out in the media in any case, right? So within the media world, you will be the expert. Maybe there are people who are more knowledgeable than you, like the zoology professor was more knowledgeable than his grad student, but the grad student is the one who outran him on TV, had a podcast. And so, if for any reason you are thinking that being in the media, or that you felt insecure about your level of knowledge or specialty or whatever, there's no need to worry about that. You just need to get out there and do it. And especially if it's a podcast, for example, the problem is easily solved by inviting people more knowledgeable than you in a topic and having a great discussion. I just wanted to share that. I thought that was a nice, funny story that had some important lessons there. That it's really, you don't need to necessarily know everything or to be the best. You just need to go there and do it. It's imperfect action that really is necessary. Just get out there, spread your message, go and do it, and and you are far more expert in any case than most people who will be listening to you. So that's just some encouragement to move forward if you have any sort of doubts in your mind, right? If you'd like a free consultation on your media strategy, on getting out there, if you have any other doubts, doubts about that or something else, give me a call and I'll be glad to have a discussion with you on it. So that's it for today. I'll talk to you later, and bye for now.